observers, they seem to be really useful but really difficult to work with because of how quickly they seem to output a signal. But I have worked out a couple ways of using them in some farm designs which might be quite interesting to you. In this video, I'll be briefly going over a melon and pumpkin design, a sugarcane design, a cocoa design, a wheat, potato, and carrot design. And if you want to see any of them in depth, please leave a like on the video to let me know that you want to actually see any of them. But I will actually be uploading them later on in the day, hopefully, if I can get round to it. If not, I will be uploading them later this week. Now, the sugarcane farm works relatively simply. It just it just does this and only works on the single module that it's worked on, like this. This design is very simple, not that complex, and doesn't require a lot of resources. This design equally as cheap, in fact it's slightly cheaper, and it will actually knock out the entire row at once. Now, they're both very simple in the way that they work. It's just one piece of redstone and one observer for each module. Module being a single crop. So one block equals one module in the case of a sugarcane farm. 2 blocks equals one module in the case of a melon farm or pumpkin farm. Now, this is in essence the smallest that the module can be, so it's 3 wide by 1 wide by 4 tall. That's if you're also counting the block that it's placed on and the water behind it. Moving on, we also have the pumpkin and melon farm over here. Now, the pumpkin melon farm is a bit bigger than the sugarcane farm, but it's basically as compact as I could get it while still having it not be laggy with the amount of times that it fires off and not being required on a clock. Now, this design works with both pumpkin and melon. I actually planted pumpkin stalks, but they don't connect to melon stalks, so that's why they aren't visually connecting. It can be tiled in a next to each other design or an alternating design. Both designs work, and it has no real effect on the efficiency, I don't think. One may be more efficient than the other, I don't really know. Efficiency isn't my specialty. Now, the pumpkin farm, seen here, it works. Here's one I grew earlier. But yeah, it grows, and yeah, this is the module in its simplest form. You can tile it putting the piston next to here, or next to the other powered block here. It's a 2x4x4 design, and you can put the water underneath the piston here, and it's relatively flush. Next we have the Coco farm. Coco farm, really easy in the fact that it takes only bone meal to run, and of course cocoa beans, but this design is a AFK for the player design, whereas the other two were run round the clock sort of designs. So sugarcane and pumpkin and melon you can grow without the player having to be there, as already known, but cocoa and wheat and potato and carrot, they require a player to be there to place it because it doesn't stay once it's been harvested. So for it to simply be faster, I added a bone meal design. If you don't want the bone meal, you can just take out the green line here and it will just grow naturally. However, the player will have to basically sit there to place it back in, and it runs relatively quick, counting the amount of times that it's been grown through the stages, and then firing off the block behind, therefore detaching the cocoa beans from the, well, log. Now, the carrot farm, also working on a counting design, does the exact same thing, however, it does not work for beetroot. I tried this and it really doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't work for beetroot. I think it's because beetroot has a variable stage, whereas potato, carrot, and wheat have all set stages when it comes to using bone meal. Now, with this design, it does counting, and then fires off and drops the block, knocking off the carrots, potato, and or wheat, and they're just dropping the item and letting the player have it. Finally, we have the design for the melon and pumpkin farm. However, this is a design that's laid out in a smaller area in total footprint. However, it can't be tiled. It runs significantly faster with less fire off time. However, it can't be tiled as previously mentioned. But you can, in fact, place the hopper underneath this block and it will pick up anything that lands there. And most of the time, everything lands there. And those are all the designs, and I accidentally trampled the crop. Well, whatever. Now, if you want me to go over any of these designs, leave a like on the video, and I will hopefully be uploading the video later this week if I have time. I don't really know. I've got a lot of homework to get done this week. But yeah, those are the designs. If you want any in-depth how to build, I will maybe be uploading if people like this.